So this showed up on my feed because on a whim, I just wanted to check to see what was at the top of YouTube when you looked up furry. Like when you just look up furry, what comes up? Something good come up? Well, my video comes up, and then eventually I saw it. And this was one of the first videos that came up when I searched furry earlier today. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I haven't seen this at all. I wasn't recommended this in the slightest. I also didn't even know Turkey Tom did a video talking about furry extremists. Because truthfully, I kind of just exist in my own little bubble of what I understand within furry or what I interact with. I don't know or interact with Nazis. I feel like that's a good thing. That's a good standard to have, I'd like to think. 90% of us, hopefully. Either way, this video popped up on my feed and I wanted to give it a watch today. I'm scared to see where the narrative is going to be taken with this video because it kind of makes it seem like it's a bigger issue than any sort of intrinsic community that is open and welcoming of everyone having its own sort of people that just won't leave that you don't want there to begin with because they're just innately problematic. By default, they are. So it's really weird. It's really weird and fascinating, and I have some thoughts on where I think this video is going to go, but I also just don't know. So that's why I wanted to give it a watch today. So today we're going to watch over the shockingly real community of Nazi furries.
What's up, weirdos? Raise your hand if you're a furry. Now, believe it or not, there is a group of furries who, when asked to raise their hand, they wouldn't go like this. They go like this. There are
Dude
furries. And when I tell
what a fucking intro. That was awesome. I love this guy's fit. I love his jewelry. This guy's great. Okay, you know what? I might be here for this. That intro was pretty good. That was funny. That was... What a strong start. I gotta see this intro again. Give me a moment. It's so fucking good.
What's up, weirdos? Raise your hand if you're a furry. Now, believe it or not, there is a group of furries who, when asked to raise their hand, they wouldn't go like this. They go like this. There are Nazi furries. And when I tell you...
I also love how I've already passed the test here. I raised my hand like this. I raised it straight up. I don't need the rest of the video to tell if I'm a Nazi furry or not. I think I, fulfilled the I think I passed the test. You know,
the lore goes deep. This has been going on since the early 2000s, and it is still ongoing. My awareness of this subculture came around when I was making a video on my Coop channel, which go check it out. Go subscribe to that one. It's not really, I don't even call it my second channel anymore.
I'll do that later.
If I was just like a YouTuber, and then this channel is more for my commentary. Anyways, I was watching this video, and then
dude, this one. Oh my god. Oh, the beach fight at the fur meet in Cali. This is where the awareness started for some people. That's nuts. And you know what's funny? This whole thing created a whole nother bit of drama in like the baby fur in like ABDL furry community because someone who was like in this video or like adjacent to this whole event happening had their own other thing happen. Dude, I just want this video to not be the root cause of so much shit happening. That's literally it. Cause figuratively and literally. So like it's crazy, man. Like I've seen this video a bunch of times. And everyone tries to put some weird other spin on it, but you'll get some context here from his name's Cooper. Oh, Coop. Oh, okay, so he's Coop. Okay.
Right now, holding the phone up, basically he is a Nazi furry who showed up to another furry event, and then this happened.
You fucking
damn.
I mean,
the fursuiter went in.
He came with the megaphone, and then getting your megaphone taken and then bounced off your skull. Captain Jack Sparrow, black furry. Oh my god! It feels like I'm watching a hallucination. But here's the thing.
Yeah, that's literally, the more context you know about that clip, the crazier it gets. Like, you think that it's just such a basic level of like, okay, fight breaks out at a fur meet. There's so many more layers as to why that happened in the first place, and whose thing is what, and who is who in each clip. So it's so fucking crazy to see. I love that. I love that.
Some digging, and there is so much going on here, including a lot of people defending the guy who got beat up there, saying, no, he's not actually a Nazi. It's this guy. He's a Bernie Sanders Democratic Socialist. Look at him. He's wearing a rainbow flag t-shirt that says Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, there's a whole thing with this.
Him. This is him. This image right here. This is him.
On the Steam profile? Dude, why are you trying to flex with your Steam profile? I'm not trying to flex. You know what my Steam profile is? It's literally, dude, I'm just showing my cropped furry art and then my 79 hours of furry feet. That's it. And then, like, the one, like, 100% achievement that I have for, like, Balatro. Why are people, and I see this so much, why does it always start with, like, the Nazi furry Steam account?
Rogue, the Nazi fur, removed swastika to the Nazi fur logo because of the bleeping SJWs found it offensive. So originally this right here was a swastika and he changed it to the Nazi fur logo. Now I'm gonna be honest,
wonderful.
I'm looking at a Nazi armband right here.
Jesus.
This and this look exactly similar, except
I hate this world, man. I hate it so much. I really do. This is, I think we're at the point, guys, I might need a palate cleanser after this because I have been going over nothing but negative Nancy stuff. After this, I need to, like, go over some ooh cute positive stuff at some point. But either way, let's keep going.
And that is a very important point that we all need to come together at this starting point, where if you are walking around with a Nazi swastika armband, no matter how many times you say it's a joke, you're walking around with a swastika armband. Anyways, he also said, personally, I think
Who'd
it's
have
cool.
thought?
I don't support any of the Nazi values. To
that.
do so would be contradictory of me being gay and a furry. I just like World War II, and this art is the result of me role-playing as an SS officer for fun on my servers. Guys, I just like World War II. You mean the part where the Nazis were defeated, right?
I just like World War II, guys. That's the thing. When people say they like World War II or World War I because they just find it fascinating, usually it's in reference to, like, the fucking weapons. Like, oh, I really like the M1 Garand. I like this tank. I like this thing called the Panzerschreck. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. You know, usually that's what people gravitate towards when they say they like World War II stuff. Like, they like the planes, the ships, you know, like all, like the warfare stuff. Not specifically the attire of the SS soldiers. There's such a difference. Like, you... Such a loose defense. Oh my goodness gracious. He's going a little too fast. I gotta go back a little bit.
Removed swastika to the Nazi fur logo because of the bleeping SJWs found it offensive.
Oh, so it is officially the Nazi fur logo then. That's what that is. I thought this was just supposed to specifically be Furry Raiders. Yeah, this is already so much ick.
Fur logo. Now,
this
I'm
is
gonna be
ick.
honest, if I'm looking at a Nazi armband right here, this and this look
so
exactly similar, except you're a furry. And that is a very important point that we all need to come together at this starting point, where if you are walking around with a Nazi swastika armband, no matter how many times you say it's a joke, you're walking around with a swastika armband. Anyways,
thank you. Oh, it's a joke. I'm just being edgy. You don't understand my humor. Yes, I don't, because your humor sucks. It's humorless, and you're using it as a guise to be this not great person. Man.
Personally, I think it's cool. I don't support any of the Nazi values. To do so would be contradictory of me being
this really sucks.
I just like World War II.
Again, gotta remind yourselves, so far, this is just one person. I know it's probably a group of Nazi furries or furry raiders, but you gotta remember, it is such a small percentage compared to the overwhelming amounts of furries. Genuinely, if a majority of the community could will it, they would not want these people associated with the furry community as a whole.
The result of me role-playing as an SS officer for fun on my servers.
What part specifically about role-playing as an SS officer isn't bad? What part about that specifically is, you know, okay?
Guys, I just like World War II. You mean the part where the Nazis were defeated, right? Well, actually, I really like the SS officers, the people who worked at the concentration camps and all of the Auschwitz. If you are a furry doing this with a fucking swastika, you're a Nazi! You are a Nazi! You are! But that was just
Thank you, Coop. Thank you. Thank you for saying what we all have for years now.
That was just a pebble in a landfill of other pebbles of Nazi furry stuff. I really lost my train of thought on that one. I can take you all the way back to 2009.
2009?
With this website, which is about, you know, fighting anti-Semitism.
What was I doing in 2009? I had just turned 11. I think at the time I had just gotten Guitar Hero on my Xbox, and I was really excited to finally play the Dragon Force DLC songs in Guitar Hero 3. That's what I was excited for. When I was at that age, by the way. But supposedly, something happened with Nazism in 2009 with Nazi furries. Interesting.
Title, A Second Life for Nazism, and basically the article is about the...
He's fucking laughing. He can't even describe it because it's so fucking absurd. God, man. Why? Why is it this deep?
Semitism. Title, A Second Life for Nazism, and basically the article is about the virtual world role-playing game Second Life.
Oh, Second Life!
Second Life, there were actual concerns raised about a burgeoning subculture of Nazi furries. Basically, I don't really know that much about Second Life, but it's like there was a shop that somebody set up where they're selling Nazi paraphernalia, and then that stuff got banned, and they switched it to the Fursy logo, which we just saw. By the way, furry, Nazi,
In the 7 years I have been a furry, or at least known about furry for about a decade, I have never, ever heard Nazi furries referred to as fursies or a fursy. Never in that time have I referred to them as such, and I hate it so goddamn much. Nazi furries here?
Fursy, that's what that is. Keep that in mind, because something about that's going to come up later. But I want to read this excerpt from the article because it says that the store was actually set up by a group called the Fursy Mannschaften, or Fursies, furry Nazis for short. The group says that it does not condone racism or fascism, but its images an avatar dressed in Nazi uniform giving a Sieg Heil salute. The shop has been closed by Second Life following complaints.
You can say this bit all you fucking want. Okay, if you're, like, in that community with, like, furry Nazis, Furry Raiders, whatever, you can say this bit all you want. You can say it all you want. But when you're doing other stuff like dressing up your Fursona in, like, a Nazi uniform and wearing armbands like that, that doesn't matter at the end of the day if you say this or try to clarify you're not about this. It doesn't matter because people see you as a Nazi. Whatever cope you gotta deal with. Oh, we don't condone racism or fascism. Oh, I'm not a Nazi, I just roleplay as one. Like, even still, that's bad. What is not being understood about it? God.
But its image is an avatar dressed in Nazi uniform giving a Sieg Heil salute. The shop has been closed by Second Life following complaints.
I hate it.
We're not Nazi, we're just, you know, Nazi. Also, others in Second Life have created characters wearing yellow stars, and one has even created a gas chamber. Now, because this article
wonderful. What amazing. Oh, you're beating the allegations so great. You're doing so good with it. You're doing such a good job at beating the allegations. What a wonderful fucking job. Beta, I have limited breadsticks. That really is a shame. I want more breadsticks, honestly. Can we get Blue Bengal some more breadsticks, please?
And the internet is falling apart. Those images aren't there, but you know what I did find? A very, very shitty pixelated thing that is just a furry in striped pajamas in Second Life and a gas chamber with...
I think I remember seeing this. And it was horrible. It was just horrible. Like, oh yeah, but they're not racist or fascist, you know? Like they said, of course. And that's the thing, too. Germany has, like, zero tolerance for that, period. Isn't it, like, an actual crime wearing any sort of attire like that or professing that? It's an actual crime in Germany, is it not?
Very, very shitty pixelated thing that is just a furry in striped pajamas in Second Life and a gas chamber with swastikas on the wall. So you're not Nazi though? Right. That was a while ago.
See?
But then I found an article from Rolling Stone posted in 2017 that was detailing this specific guy, Foxler, like Fox Hitler. He's gonna say that that's not.
So the whole article title was like, does furry have a Nazi problem? Yep, here we go. There's a thing. Oh, furries have this problem. Oh, what's that? What's the problem? Oh, annoying people that just won't go the fuck away because you can't really kick them out of a hobby? Oh, that's what it is, yeah.
Article from Rolling Stone posted in 2017 that was detailing this specific guy, Foxler, like Fox
Oh,
Hitler. He's gonna...
It details one specific guy being the Foxler character, yeah.
say that that's not what it is, but remember when I said, remember, Foxler, Foxhiller, and this is him in the middle right
Wonderful.
Here with, oh, what's this right here? Oh, yeah. Now, Foxler got a weird case, I gotta be honest, and we're gonna talk a lot about Foxler in this video. Because
Jesus
in the article,
Christ,
it talks about right here, in 2014, Miller, that's the last name of the person who's Foxler. Now, the article says that in 2014, Miller resurrected the Furry Raiders. The Furry Raiders is a group of neo-Nazi furries. Now, this armband right here.
Yes, it is. That's why when you hear Furry Raiders, it's usually not within a good context, or it instills, whether that be cringe or fear, some emotion that is not innately positive from people who hear it. That's the thing, too. I haven't heard about the Furry Raiders or Foxler or anyone in association with that for years now, unless someone has like brought it up like this from like years past. With regards to them being a presence, I'm sure they have their own thing, but like when it comes to them being prolific or problematic in furry, they haven't been for a while, I don't think.
That Foxler's got, that's the official logo of the Furry Raiders. So they'll always say that they're not Nazis or that they're just joking.
Furry Raiders logo.
And famously, they caused havoc at Rocky Mountain Furcon in 2017. Now, a lot of the articles about Nazi furries are about this specific event. And basically what happened is Foxler didn't feel accepted in the community. They didn't accept the furry Nazis. They didn't like...
I wonder why. I wonder why they weren't accepted. I couldn't tell you, really. You know, maybe just the personality didn't mesh. Maybe no uwu cute fursuit. I don't know. Maybe they should have posted more of their cutesy baity furry art on Twitter. Maybe they should have done that.
Furry Nazi. So the people who don't like furry Nazis were having a convention, and then he went behind everybody's back and booked up a bunch of hotel rooms to basically fuck the event. And basically what happened at Rocky Mountain Furcon is Furry Raiders, the Nazi furries, Foxler, went out of their way to basically overbook the hotel that was going to go like way in advance so that these other furries wouldn't be able to, you know, get hotel rooms. And it led to that furry convention basically shutting down. So obviously it became like a huge story and everybody was like mad at everybody. But then also, now according to Dogpatch Press, which I love that I'm like deep into the furry culture now that I actually know this stuff.
If he knows about Dogpatch Press, this guy's done his research. If he's looking at Dogpatch Press and going into, like, to some extent, furry articles, furry-centric articles, like, he's doing his research. Like, good on this guy. He's doing his research well. This YouTuber's doing a fantastic job so far. I'll give him that.
Website for all sorts of furry news, and they were really giving like a lot of honestly great coverage surrounding this event, and it's been crucial to my research for this because it's not just the drama around the con, it's also things like this within the community. There was a video, you know, similar to the other one where a Nazi gets punched, and this person said, oh yeah, furry raiders are a bunch of Nazi motherfuckers too, reminder, etc. And this person said, can't wait to punch these Nazis. Then Olivia right here responded, watching you get shot by someone defending themselves from unprovoked assault will be far more entertaining. Sounds like a Nazi to me. I can't wait to punch a Nazi. Really? You're gonna threaten to punch me? How about I kill you?
There's got to be a threat of violence or a threat on someone's life, right? Not what the YouTuber said specifically because it's a bit, but like the whole tweet thing. That's got to be a threat on someone's life, right? Oh my god, man.
Sounds like a Nazi to me. I can't wait to punch a Nazi.
I love how he just gets to the point, you know, it's not just like, oh, they might be a Nazi, they might not be a Nazi. It's like, nope, oh, that's what a Nazi would say. It's just I like this guy, he gets to the point with it.
Me? How about I kill you? No. I was actually saying I was gonna punch a Nazi. Are you saying you're a Nazi? Somebody responded by saying, sure hope you're not suggesting that someone would bring a gun to the convention. And Olivia responded, sure hope you're not planning on attacking innocent innocent folks. I support legal concealed carry. And the person who
this
said
guy's hilarious. I love him.
Are you threatening to bring a gun to Rocky Mountain Furcon? That question
God,
right there,
Twitter.
one of my favorite sentences in human history. Are you threatening to bring a gun to Rocky Mountain Furcon? I love this. Now, by the way, this is after the Rocky Mountain Furcon 2016 fiasco. After they had like interfered, you know, previously, and then the Furcon was like, oh, we'll still accept you Nazis, come on. Now, they reported that the founder of Rocky Mountain Furcon, Kahuki, is reputed to take pride in his con never banning anyone, including those banned by other cons.
I gotta read that again. RMFC founder takes pride in his con never banning anyone, including those banned by other cons. Yeah, don't let that man run a con. Do not let that man run a con. Also, that's another thing too. I hadn't heard about RMFC, Rocky Mountain Furcon, till now. Till this video, which leads me to believe that this statement could have something to do with that. Why I haven't heard of RMFC. I wonder why I haven't heard of the con at all in any of the time I've been a furry.
They reported that the founder of Rocky Mountain Furcon, Kahuki, is reputed to take pride in his con never banning anyone, including those banned by other cons. By the way, if you're getting banned from one fur convention, you should be banned from every public space. So like the stories that have come out from fur cons. By the way, if you're a furry watching this, there's no judgment at all. Even my video about furries on the Coop channel, like it's all love, and I'm really glad that all the furries who watched it were just like, oh, yeah, it's cringe, but it's fun. We're just doing what we like.
I gotta watch that video now. He seems chill. I mean, I kind of got that message at the end of the day with how he's been kind of treating the whole Nazi fur thing, which good. I'm glad that it's being seen as a similar issue. But, like, I like this guy. That's, again, just gonna say it. It's nice to have YouTubers and other people talking about the community who are just kind of looking into it, who say about the same things that furries do and kind of feel the same way about it. Like, look, furries are chill, but these people who kind of ruin it, ooh.
Because by the way, if you're just doing what you like, it's fun. And if you're a furry right now being like, I hope that people don't think that this represents all of us. Nobody thinks that this represents all of you.
Thank you. Someone said that. This is the first time I've heard this in any sort of video covering some negative aspect of furries. I literally worried that this would not be mentioned at all, and I'd have to come in and say like, okay, not everyone thinks this way of furries. This isn't representative of furry as the whole. All this stuff, over embellishing YouTube stuff, algorithms. No, like, I'm glad that that's stated too. Because realistically, most reasonable people do not believe that Nazi furries are a big problem in the community, because they aren't. They're just kind of there, and we can't get rid of them, sadly. People will just show up wherever, even if they're uninvited, and I like that point. I want to listen to it again, because that's nice. That's a nice little sentiment.
We'll still accept you Nazis, come on.
I want to listen to that again.
They reported that the founder of Rocky Mountain Furcon, Kahuki, is reputed to take pride in his con never banning anyone.
AFAIK, there is in fact an attendee blacklist shared between major cons. That's good to know, honestly. I didn't know that bit, but I kind of assumed there were some certain people that could or couldn't go to cons in general,
including
and that
those banned
a blacklist was shared, which is good.
If you're getting banned from one fur convention, you should be banned from every public space. So like the stories that have come out from fur cons. By the way, if you're a furry watching this, there's no judgment at all. Even my video about furries on the Coop channel, like, it's all love, and I'm really glad that all the furries who watched it were just like, oh, yeah, it's cringe, but it's fun, and we're just doing what we like. Because by the way, if you're just doing what you like, it's fun. And if you're a furry right now, being like, I hope that people don't think that this represents all of us. Nobody thinks that this represents all of you.
Good.
But anyways, yeah, so this guy, the founder.
Anyone with 2 cents, anyone with a little bit of knowledge and can do a little bit of detective work into seeing what the community or furry is about knows that Nazi furries do not represent furries.
Rocky Mountain Furcon was like, we don't ban anybody. Come to find out, Kahuki Otter, the founder, his real name is Kendall Emerithe. And if you look at this picture, there he is. There's Kendall holding up a Rocky Mountain Furcon poster. Okay. And then if you look at this picture, you see he is 5'7". Okay. And then also, if you look down right here, also a convicted child sex offender. Oh my God, from 1993. Yeah, so, it's cool.
Remember when I said that whole statement he made was sus about just like, oh yeah, we take pride in not banning anyone that other conventions ban. It's like, wonder if this is gonna be wonder if this red flag means anything. Oh wait, it does. I
think Yikes. The fact that you don't ban anybody at all kind of makes a lot of sense when you yourself should be the first person banned. What the fuck? And by the way, this dude,
that's a good joke. I like that.
First person band. What the convicted
fucking timestamps are weird.
Child sex offender. Oh my God, from 1993. Yeah, so it's cool. I think the fact that you don't ban anybody at all kind of makes a lot of sense when you yourself should be the first person banned. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And by the way, this dude, this sex offender, he sent this cease and desist to the person who was like, we should punch Nazis. And then somebody said, I'm gonna kill you. And she's like, what? Are you saying that woman, not the woman who said she'd bring a gun and kill somebody who's trying to kill a, like, not even kill, punch a Nazi. The person who is getting attacked there for saying that she hates Nazis is getting a cease and desist letter from a child sex predator defending the furry Nazis. That's what I'm saying, like...
That checks out. Like, sadly, that checks out for behavior. It really does. It is, oh my god, man. It like, I know this happened like years and years back, but it doesn't surprise me that it does, because some people are fucking nuts. Some people are lunatics, sadly.
Because furries are such an online community, their drama gets wild.
It does!
Real life.
You're telling me. That's my... I do not want to be stopped on his face.
Crimes and thinking, oh yeah, I'm a cool guy.
But that's me though, covering the furry drama that happens online.
Yeah, let's let the Nazis in. Like, dog. By the way, this is another little thing. This hasn't been resolved. Like, nobody's been arrested or convicted. But in my research, I did find this, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up. At Midwest Furfest, there was a gas attack, and you know the prime suspect is related to furry Nazis. Like, furry Nazis might have like done it like a gas bomb at this Midwest Furfest. So it's not a joke. It's not irony. Is it irony if I put on a swastika armband and then try to gas people? Is that a joke?
So was that ever concluded, like what actually happened during the MFF gas attack? Because I think that was in like 2015, 2016. I can't remember the exact year, but I remember it being talked about, and it was like the big thing at the time. But I didn't know one of the prime suspects was Nazi furry / neo-Nazi. What a shocker. I would have expected it to be like in like an anti-furry, like to the extent, not like anti-furries as in like anti-furry 12-year-old YouTube comment. No, like more like those that are so unhinged and you're kind of concerned for what they're gonna do, you know?
I don't think it is. This is, by the way, another furry
Jesus
Nazi,
Christ,
Magnus Cervidian, although instead of Nazi imagery, usually he goes for the old Confederate flag. Real cool. I mean, it's, by the way, incredible execution. It is, however, a Confederate flag fursuit, so. And at Midwest Furfest 2017, what is known as a...
We're just going through history of like the most problematic events or the most problematic people in like furry history. We really are. It's literally just going through all the bad furry history, minus like some other tidbits here and there. That's what this is. So what's going on here? If
you're wearing a Pickelhaube and on Wikifur supposedly saying Sieg Heil, you just are a Nazi. You are. But I found a video right here where you can see there he is. There's the Pickelhaube and being escorted by you know, the security there.
Good.
The person who recorded this video says, well, that was the person that was banned from the convention center and ended up getting arrested. So bro was so Nazi furry he got arrested. And all of this is just like Nazi furry stuff, but they're
good. I'm glad that this was handled as such and that they were banned or kicked out. See, that's what you do. That's what Concept does. They remove the problematic people or those that stand by some very bad ideals. I mean, even if they say, oh yeah, you know, we don't support this, and this. Well, why are you wearing it? I don't know, man. It's just the whole run in circles thing. It's just the lack of self-awareness, I'd like to think, too.
But there is one specific person, Foxler, who I mentioned earlier. Now, the thing that's so interesting about Foxler to me is...
Before I go into this, I want you to know I do not know really anything about Foxler, just besides the name, what it insinuates with the name, and that's it. That's all I know about the individual, the character, and that they are just like... do not interact with a 100-foot pole. Like, do not ever. And I never have seen this individual, never seen them on social media, never seen them at a con. In the 7 years that I have been a furry, never seen them, only heard them mentioned about through the grapevine, and that's it. And that's good, I'd like to think.
Not just the extremely evident Nazi armband. Sorry, Fursy armband. But it's also the amount of videos that he's posted online where he is just exposing himself as somebody who is witless. I don't know how to... stupid.
And being with the people that you feel comfortable with
Oh my god. You did videos too? I mean, I'm glad that, you know, Cooper came to the same assumption as me. I'm like, there's got to be like zero self-reflection from these people. There's got to be. Like, just completely just bonkers.
As your same viewpoints, that's totally fine. No, I am talking about the people that are literally advocating that we need to have politics in the fandom. That's just like, whoa. Like, you know, boom. You know, that's what you should be doing. And if anybody says I'm advocating suicide on that, yeah, why not? Because, you know, it's gotten to the point where I have cared less and less when it comes to just in the fandom. You know, and people say I advocate politics. I don't know nothing about politics. You're talking to the guy that knows, like, nothing. Nothing, man. I didn't even vote.
So bro said we should keep politics out of here. Now, he's posting this in response.
Guy who doesn't want to talk about politics or doesn't want it to be a part of furry? And what is your identity alongside it? That's... what the fuck? There really is zero self-awareness. There's zero self-reflection. There is no question of, maybe I'm the problem here. Maybe I'm the problem here.
Everybody being like, dude, you're a Nazi. You suck. And he's like, just stop with all the politics for once. Guys,
let's just all get along.
By saying that, you think I'm...
Guys, let's just all get along. We should all just care about one another because we're furries, right? At the end of the day, we're all furries. We're all in this together. One big happy community. Let's have a dog pile hug in fursuit. Because we all care about... It's always that. It's always that.
Advocating for suicide? Yeah, I am. Don't clip that context. But like the tone of voice that he has, it's the exact tone of voice you would expect to see coming out of somebody in a fursuit with a, you know, Nazi insignia. Oh, I didn't even vote. Oh, anybody think about that? Dude, you're wearing a Nazi armband. Like,
it was like me when I went down with my friends to go see the Milo Indianapolis event here in Boulder, Colorado. And you mind, I just go see it for entertainment purposes. I was driving.
I love how he has to have it sped up too, because he just goes on and on for so long.
All right, I point, hey guys, look, it's one of the anti-fascists. And you can tell because, you know, he's sitting there all black, really thin guy. He's got the bandana around his mouth. And I'm just like, wow. And we're cruising in a Range Rover. Oh hell yeah, riding in style.
I can't take it.
What is he talking about?
At a video. Gosh, furries, forgive me. It's so cringe. Hey, it's fun. You're having fun. If you're a furry and you're having fun, it's fine. Like, have fun. But it's so cringe watching somebody in a fursuit be like, I don't care about politics. Now, I was going to this event of somebody who is a extreme right, just political commentator, Milo Yiannopoulos, who has been accused of...
Milo? I forgot he existed. Didn't he like try raiding a furry convention or something after he was kicked out? So is that why he showed up? Cause I heard of that Milo Yiannopoulos guy like out of nowhere for like one day. That's nuts.
Pedophilia after the emergence of several video clips in which he said that sexual relationships between 13-year-old boys and adults can be perfectly consensual and positive experiences for such boys. Now, and this is really interesting.
I hate people.
In 2022, he then served as an intern for United States Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you don't know her, horrible. Then worked with white nationalist Nick Fuentes. I don't even got to show you the clips. He just actually Nazi. And rapper Kanye West on his 2024 U.S. presidential election campaign. He ran again this year. I didn't know he was running this time. And in April, he
this is fucking nuts. Dude, like, how deep does this go? I just clicked on a video to learn about Nazi furries and how they're bad and cringe and frowned upon within the community, and now it has a deep hole going into nationalists and actual, like, Congress people and Kanye West. This is nuts.
Easy Apparel. Yeah, Kanye, you're actually really cool for partnering up with this dude. He was literally listed as the chief of staff at Easy Apparel. Oh, but he stepped down on May 15th due to West's announcement of an adult entertainment division at the company. Wow, at least he stands for something. Anyways, that's who Fox Hitler was going to go see. And then he saw some anti-fascists. And he was like, really? Anti-fascist, weird. But again, guys, I just don't care about politics. Like, I don't care about politics at all. This isn't like a far right, like Nazi, like armband at all. It's not at all.
It really do be a furry YouTube video, and the contradiction is just like right there. Oh my god. Man, we're not even halfway through and there's still more. Are there any other peaks? There's like 3 more peaks in the video. I'm scared.
And if you think it is KYS. Anyways, I was going to the show this guy who thinks it's cool to be a pedophile, and I saw an anti-fascist, and then I got triggered. Maybe because you are fascist? But I'm talking too much because I gotta let him continue. It gets so much worse.
I don't know what to say about that. This whole punching Nazis thing, you're gonna go punch people. Really. You're just gonna go, and that's how you're gonna solve some problems? Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. I actually want to see some actual furries punching other furries. Because, that is just really low. And going out doing stupid shit like that, you deserve to get whatever you do for doing that. And some people say they're gonna punch me. Yes, they're gonna punch me. And based on the popular internets...
I mean, I'd punch him. The fuck is he even going on about, man?
What would win? 3 anti-fascists with sticks and Walmart mace? Or me in fursuit? A lot of people are voting for the fursuit.
The mace would win. The mace would easily win. Was that supposed to be a joke or a question? The mace would win. What the fuck?
That's what he looks like underneath that fur mask. I was seeing a lot of people say online, 3 anti-fascists versus me, a Nazi in a fursuit. And a lot of people were saying to me,
you forgot the mace. You forgot the mace part. They said someone has mace, which if you don't know mace, it's like pepper spray, right? Or unless they're thinking like a medieval mace, that still is feasible. But like pepper spray mace, I feel like the pepper spray would win.
Dude, get a grip, reel it in, dial it back. I gotta take a step because you are sitting there saying, really? You're gonna punch a Nazi? Really? Think that's gonna solve anything? What about loving me? I mean, I'm not a Nazi, not me. It's not me. I'm not offended. I don't think I'm gonna get punched. Although I did just say, really? You're gonna punch a Nazi?
You could have left it there, and that's the only conclusion that you need is just, oh, hey, who not to interact around or who not to interact with. Anyone who says, really? You're gonna punch a Nazi? Yes.
If anybody punched me, I'd win. Dude, how are you this stupid? It's fine. I don't know why I said it's fine. It's not fine to be a Nazi furry. I just feel bad calling. He's stupid. He's so dumb. You think that when somebody is like this type of person with these types of beliefs, that they're gonna have some way of expressing themselves that's like, oh, I see why they feel that way. No.
Exactly, but...
It's just nothing makes sense, and yet he believes it. I cannot ignore the tissues over here.
Yeah, I love that.
Really trying, and it's just, I know that furries are not all a sexual thing, but a lot of humans are, and a lot of humans are also into being a furry, so there's a lot of it that is happening. And if you...
I mean, yeah, tissues could be for anything. Tissues by the bed for convenience.
Go on to furryraiders.org. Oh god, I don't want to do this.
Furryraiders.org? It's oh, thank god I haven't gone down this rabbit hole. I'm gonna learn, and hopefully in the best way.
18 plus? Okay, July 31st, 1999. That's me. Okay, so what can I see here? Oh my god! Oh my god! Blur, blur! He's selling a body pillowcase.
That's awful.
Himself.
That is awful. That is, nah, man. That is awful. That is horrible.
And it's blurred, but oh, like a red rocket coming out, and big butt. Really big butt. Massive cheeks on that Nazi furry wolf. Sorry, Fox. Fuck, what else are they selling? Oh, the Nazi armband right there. You can just buy a Nazi armband real quick from a furry place. It's not a swastika. It's just everything but the swastika, and it's meant to evoke it. But it's definitely not. It's definitely not. It's definitely not. That's what he said to every single article that interviewed him. By the way, when I was going through doing research, I read 8 articles on just the Rocky Mountain Furcon, and he was answering every single call from any writer just to give his side of the story, and everything he said the entire time was
just what you want to do. Just what you want to do is just talk to anyone.
It's It's a joke. He said this to Vice. This was my favorite one. Why are people trying to control my existence or tell me what I can and can't do when it's within the law, he says. I've never really driven into politics, but I need to get more serious about them now that all this is happening. When he talks about his armband in this video, the way that he describes it kind of makes me feel like he's just describing himself as a Nazi. I don't know.
And I wanted to make sure I want to have good friends. That's the reason why I wore the armband, you know, to filter out the lunacy in the fandom. So, really great filter. This thing's like, I mean, it's like a Brita filter, man. It'll give you 99.9% purity. I love it. And, you know, even so...
What purity? What, like other Nazis? It's just, it's simple is what it is. Oh, it filters out all the people like he said, didn't he say like 90%? Hold on.
To politics, but I need to get more serious about them now that all this is happening. When he talks about his armband in this video, the way that he describes it kind of makes me feel like he's just describing himself as a Nazi. I don't know.
And I wanted to make sure I want to have good friends. That's the reason why I wore the armband, you know, to filter out the lunacy in the fandom. So, really great filter. This thing's like, I mean, it's like a Brita filter, man. It'll give you 99.9% purity. I love it.
He puts out 99.4% purity. See, guys, it's not me that's the problem. It's the fandom that's the problem. It's all the other furries who won't accept me that's the problem. Like, the self-report is obvious if you're wearing the armband, but the self-report in anything that is said further is just like, how is the self-awareness so lacking? I don't get it. I don't get it.
And, you know, even so, I speak to a lot of furries. They're alt furries. You've probably heard of them. You know, they have a little bit more stronger political views. You know why I talk with them? Because they're nice to me. They don't bash me and hit me upside the head. I can tell you right now, I have a hard time even having a good political conversation with them because I got nothing to say.
So what he described right there, by the way, alt furries, just another terminology in the community for, you know, alt-right extreme. It's not like alternative like TikTok, like I'm dyeing my front strands red. It's like alt-right furries, and he's saying, yeah, so basically when I wear this Nazi imagery, it filters out 99.9% of people who suck, who think being a Nazi sucks. And then it leaves me with people who see my Nazi armband and are like, oh, real cool. So
it's not rocket science. It really isn't. It's not hard to understand. Man.
A bunch of Nazi furries, and they'll say stuff about, oh yeah, white supremacy, we gotta do that more. And I'll be like, I don't know. That's his argument. Like, by the way, I don't think that you're some genius who really knows a lot about politics. Nobody, I don't think, is accusing you of being some criminal mastermind who's like some, like, Nazi. By the way, Einstein was Jewish. Was Einstein Jewish? His last name's Einstein. Yeah, okay. I mean, I was like 100% sure because in Oppenheimer he said, I'm just kidding. No, nobody is accusing you of being smart or well-spoken or thoughtful. They're just saying that you're a Nazi, and you're basically just saying... One more clip from this video. Please, one more clip from this video.
Let's talk about feminists. Oh yeah, I think feminists are completely wrong. You know why? Because a male dog and a female dog will both bite you equally. There is no dominant roles in the animal kingdom. If you want to think anthropomorphic, if you want to bring in animals into the mix like we are equal.
I love how this is from the same video where he's like, oh, I don't fuck with politics, and then goes on to talk about like just every fucking wrong viewpoint in it. He's like, oh, I don't like politics. They should be away from furry. Oh, I'm gonna go on and talk about my interaction with an anti-fascist. Oh, but also my opinions on feminism. Also punching a Nazi. Like, and unfortunately, there was not a point here where he realized he should stop talking. He just kept talking.
Alright, there's no need for gender equality. It's already there. Oh my god. In the furry fandom, there's plenty of gender equality. That's why there's so many gay furries. So, that's one thing. You know, all this political correctness.
Dude. I
just floating about,
hate this.
Where we just sit there and make sure that everything has to be within specification. You know, oh my god, you're a white male. You're suppressing me. Well, I'm a fox with 3 different colors, white, brown, and gray.
I can't let him keep going because it's insane to hear this stuff. Feminists, don't get me started on feminists.
This is lunacy. It's
really? Women want the right to their own bodily autonomy. Women want the same opportunity boy have. Really? Ever see how a greyhound girl and greyhound boy, they both look similar? Also, racism. Excuse me, my fursuit has 3 different colors. So, checkmate, social justice.
Just so extremely out of touch, like beyond belief. The brain worms have made their home. It is their home now. There's no brain, it's just worms. That's all I can gather. Not from this guy, from Foxler. Yeah.
There are people who
see.
Think
I feel
like
the
this,
same way,
and whose brains are operating at this level. I used to think for a while, I was like, well, there can actually be like some people are smarter than other people. I was like, maybe people just got bad opportunities at education. How can brains not all have like the same like computing processing power? Because I was thinking, you know, it's more like the education system, nurture and stuff. No, this dude is a fucking bona fide dumbass. What are you talking about? What? Not a single thing that you have said this entire time has made any sense. You have no legs to stand on with any of your beliefs or anything that you have said this entire time. You're sitting here with a fucking furry Nazi armband telling me what? Women? If we want to talk about furries, boy dog, girl dog, both bite. What the fuck are you saying? This doesn't end. Oh my god. I don't know what
dude, his fit though. Okay, a little side note again. His fit, 10 out of 10. Look, I'm trying to distract myself from any sort of stupidity going on because this is bad. This is nuts. This is crazy, man.
Nazi furries. Yeah, this is just what it is. And there's another video of him sitting next to this guy, and they're talking about how his name isn't actually Fox Hitler. It's just a combination of Fox and his last name Miller, which would make sense if you weren't dressed like a fucking Nazi.
That wasn't gonna fly. So I just took my last three of my last name, and then Fox and made Foxler. And not until like 2010, people started putting it together as Fox and Hitler. So it's been just thrown around as a joke with friends. Like, oh yeah, people call me this, because you know I'm the Hitler of the furry fandom or some shit.
It's not even close. But yeah, that always entertains me.
You know, I wouldn't be like joking about that as a label if that was my label. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, haha, they just call me this in the furry fandom, haha. Like, I would not be joking about that if that is such an abhorrent label to it. But again, little thing, it just seems entirely like brushed off as like, oh, haha, funny. Haha, like, man.
Someone calls you Hitler Fox. I'm like, no, you're not. It's the last three of his last name. I was like, that's how it's called creativity.
It's called creativity when you put a Nazi armband on and call yourself Fox Hitler. It's called creativity. I mean, yeah, it would make sense if it was just like me in a lion fursuit and then I was just like, Lioner. Like, yeah, that makes sense. But if I were to go Lion Hitler and I had a red armband on me and my last name was Miller, like, you know what I mean? It's just...
Like, again, it's the actions and what you do alongside many other things that leads people to a certain point in belief about things, you know? Like...
So funny to see somebody who is so blatantly dressed up as a Nazi trying to act like, no, it's not, but let me describe all these things that fall in line with the alt-right that are exactly how I think. But if you go to the Wikifur for Foxler, the research for this has got me absolutely geeking. Geeking? The research for this video is like, it's so funny for me.
He's having a good time. He's, as much as he like is like losing his fucking mind at what he's hearing, he's having a good time researching this. That's what makes me happy. Not to the extent that he's researching, you know, Nazi furries, but just that he's learning about furries to some extent, because he has to have researched a bit of the regular community to come to the conclusions and discussions that he has here. So never mind. Just keep watching.
By the way, I think I've said it before. I know I said it on the Coop channel in that video. I have a fursuit in the closet because I was going to make a video where I take an edible and then I go undercover at a furry convention because I thought that would...
You don't need to go undercover. I do that as is. I take an edible, get in fursuit, and go to a fur con. Coop, if you're watching this at any point, it's so fucking fun. It is so fucking fun. I will happily join you for that if you want company. If you want to go to a fur con and need some company or someone to show you around, happy to do that. As someone who barely participates in the con and just kind of fursuits around. Wait. Is it one of those knockoff counterfeit fursuits that they got from eBay?
Would be like a really funny video to make. Not to make fun of anybody, but just like it seems like a wacky funny video. And I didn't end up doing it because the one that I was gonna go to, I found out too late that it's like a kind of a small intimate event for people who all definitely know each other. So it'd be like very weird if I showed up off an edible talking to these people. So I just have a fursuit sitting in the closet. I'm not gonna bring it on camera because I can't have that visible. But either I'm gonna donate it to a furry in need, or if you think that would be like an actual like a video you'd be interested in, I'd post it on the Coop channel. Comment if I should, because I really am like borderline just donating it to a furry.
There we go. Yeah, we're good now. Yo, he sells those weirdo things. That's for me. I might have to check that out later, okay? Look, I just had to leave a comment, okay? Just to let him know, like, hey. I mean, it's up to him at the end of the day. I'm happy to show him around a con. If it's a con I don't know, then I don't know how to really help you there, but could be a good time.
Indeed. Okay. Foxler on WikiFur. It is a very, I would say, contentious page where you say at the beginning, the subject of this article has requested personal exclusion. They prefer that the entire article be removed and gave the following reasons for doing so. Somewhat translated by me. Okay.
Awesome.
It lists a bunch of objections.
Good start.
But when I scroll a little bit, I see this one on out-of-context information that is defamatory regarding past history within legal terms. Subject regarding child grooming with past relationship. Post dated back 2005. Both parties, X and Y, were both minors underage at the time of the statement. Does not meet the criteria of grooming within the state of Colorado. And so seeing that and knowing that it's coming from the galaxy brain that we just witnessed, I'm pretty sure that he definitely did do it. And then I also saw that he objected to this one. Subject regarding bestiality claims, which has no evidence that determines the...
We're really just going through literally the bingo card of awful fucking people. It really is. Like, checking off every single fucking square on this bingo card. You're gonna have bingo going 20 different ways. It's like, I'm like, oh, it can't get worse than just Nazis. And then it's just like, literally everything. Everything. Christ.
That's definition of bestiality. Sorry, I stumbled over those words like crazy. Now, this is from somebody in the community, and they said, I used to talk to Foxler as a friend and stopped contact when he went into detail about how he would his Siberian Husky, like a real dog that he owns. Knowing how he's also like presented his Fursona on the website, which I had to blur, I thought it wouldn't be crazy to go out of my way and do a little bit of digging into his Furry Raiders Telegram group, which, by the way, a Telegram group chat, biggest red flag ever. Now, I'm just gonna show you this right now.
Not necessarily group chat on Telegram, but, oh, of course, first message you see is Diesel. Oh, man. Furry Raiders Telegram chat.
The whole thing. But in the Telegram, when I open it up, the first thing that I'm seeing is they're debating whether or not gay marriage is cool. In 2020, they're like debating whether or not gay marriage is fine. They're like, yeah.
Aren't they gay? Like most of them, too? And that's the debating point.
I mean, I guess I get why you can be married, but it's kind of disrespectful to the terminology of marriage. By the way, the word marriage doesn't just relate to the Bible. Are you stupid? Now, there's this chat right here called Furry Art and Media. Is a gecko with a fat. There's an ungodly amount of adult imagery on this. And not to shame like whatever you're into, but knowing that it's on a Nazi furry group, and they're showing all these things, and there are actual allegations of him with his own dog. I say all that to say I was not shocked when I come down here and I see booking report that is, you know, according to WikiFur, for, well, Lee Allen Miller, that's him. So, and what was he arrested for? Oh, enticement of a child. So, yeah, he's not just Nazi furry.
What a shocker.
Nazi predator furry. And I gotta be honest, if you're looking at somebody who's wearing
what a
like,
surprise.
a Nazi imagery, if you believe them when they say, no, it's not like that. If you believe that, you're stupid. And there are a lot of stupid people out there. So there are a lot of people who are like, it's not actually Nazi stuff. It's just like we like World War II. Shut the fuck up. I'm interested in World.
Again, there is a big difference between being interested in World War II and interested in Nazis.
World War II history too. Do I have a Nazi flag back there? No. I got a knight yearning for a woman on a horse. But that kind of brings me to like the whole perspective that I have on Nazi furries in general. I had said earlier in the video that...
I gotta ask, why specifically the black shirt too? You know? And then the armband over it? Why that specifically? Maybe symbolism? I don't know.
On Nazi furries in general. I had said earlier in the video that furries are like
Dude, no, this can't. Hold on.
I had said...
Like how... I don't get it. I don't understand how, with this image, how is there zero self-awareness? I do not understand. I don't get it. It's like this...
Earlier in the video that furries are like a really big online community. The community online is like where it's at its strongest. Telegram group chats, Discord messages. It's great. There's like so many places where furries are congregating online because they feel safe and it's like a safe space and they're comfortable.
Yes. Furry, as much as it has its own, like, IRL events with cons, and everyone kind of looks forward to that to celebrate the hobby, a lot of it is online. A lot of it is online culture, because, you know, online you can, like, commission art, you can have your character as your profile, you can put on a character to some extent if you're a creator like me, you can do all sorts of things, and that's where, like, self-expression kind of flourishes. So I want to make that a point. Furry is a big online culture too.
Fortunately, and according to Vice, Fox Hitler says before all of this, he used to look exclusively at 4chan. So Fox Hitler was looking a lot at 4chan, and unfortunately, other furries were finding community on 4chan. And 4chan, if you're not familiar, just, you know, Chris Chan, Rainbow Dash in a mason jar, and a million other horrible things. By the way, QAnon, 4chan is just a cesspool of awfulness.
I have never been on 4chan before, but I've never heard a good thing about 4chan, so, hey, it checks out.
Doesn't even, like, come close to describing it. It's terrible. But furries are, like, so bullied in real life. Like, they're so not appreciated or even, like, kind of understood. Because I say, like, it is cringe. Yeah. It is cringe. I am cringe. I am cringe.
I'm cringe, too. And where are you living your best life? Are you having a good time? Good. Are you hurting anyone while doing it? No? Even better. It's great, you know, it's fun to be able to do that.
The things that I do, I have interests that are very cringe. Because it's fun. If I go to a Renaissance fair, oh, look, I have swords back here. That's cringe. Am I gonna act like me coming?
No, it isn't. That's cool as fuck. Someone says you have swords is cringe? Who the fuck is saying that? That's awesome. Dude, that's just awesome from any standpoint. Oh, man, the whole use of cringe is dead, man. Enough with cringe. Cringe culture, stop this. I know you can say it, and everyone's going to say it. Just be done with it.
And pulling out a katana, like, having a katana on standby
That's
is
cool.
Objectively cringe. What am I going to do with this? Chop apples in my backyard? Yes.
No, if you have someone invading your house, like Foxler, for example, you have self-defense items. You're good.
But with furries, it's like people can't look past the fact that it's cringe and see that, oh, people are just like having a lot of fun and they're really enjoying themselves. And that is as deep as it really has to be. But there's like a genuine lack of respect for people who are just it's a hobby. Like, it's a hobby and they're having fun. But they're so pushed to the outskirts that they have to congregate into these online places. And one of those online places is 4chan, and people on 4chan who are in the alt-right think it's funny to manipulate these vulnerable people and get them into their stuff. So it's like, it's just the fact that the communities are so online, it makes sense that they're primed to be infiltrated and manipulated and latch onto these ideas of, like, you know, political extremism.
That's a good point that I didn't take into account at all. With furry being predominantly an online hobby, granted, it has IRL aspects and is celebrated in real life. That's what a lot of the community really yearns for and pushes for. Oh, what's the next con you're going to? Oh, how do I go about going to my first furry convention? What can I do at this FurCon? Which ones are you going to this year? Everyone looks for that. And granted, at the same time, the online community is large. So with that in mind, you know, it's very easy for anyone to infiltrate it outside of the IRL, you know, perspective with events and fur meets, fur cons and all that. So with it being online, kind of goes to my point too. Anyone can say they're a furry and anyone can swoosh their way in or manipulate furries, especially depending on the social platform they use too. You know, with 4chan, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know 4chan per se, but haven't heard good things come from it. That's just more of the point.
They already feel extremely judged and extremely outcast. And when somebody feels judged and outcast, sometimes, you know, a combination of factors can happen and they just fucking find community.
Sadly, yeah. When that's the unfortunate part, you know, when you're at your most vulnerable, I guess this goes two ways. When you're at your most vulnerable, you're the most susceptible to change, where change becomes more welcome. And so when you do get some warmth and welcoming, and it could be from a really bad side, that's how you can kind of, I guess, be indoctrinated into that to some extent. And it's not to say that goes for furries specifically, that goes for, I guess, anyone. Everyone's looking for comfort and love and caring in some way, and sometimes it can come from the wrong people. I guess that's a good theory that never really got brought to mind, and kind of glad that Coop ended up highlighting
feel extremely judged and extremely outcast. And when somebody feels judged and outcast, sometimes, you know, a combination of factors can happen and they just fucking find community with fucking Nazis. Like, it's so horrible, and you are an awful person if you do it. And like, if you're feeling alienated by society, go watch a movie where the character is feeling alienated and get some emotional catharsis. But Foxler and all these other furry raiders, these furry Nazis, they feel outcast, and then they turn to, you know what? I feel alienated. You know who else feels alienated, but they actually have a sense of superiority over other people? Nazis. It's us versus them. Let's do it, Nazi furries. That's like kind of what their mind goes to.
Yeah, like literally, like, oh, 99.4% need to be filtered out. It's such a good way of doing it. That little armband, such a good way of doing it from Foxler's perspective. And then just like, when you're left with the minute few who are in agreement of that or are okay with that or tolerate that, you're with Nazis. That's it. Like, dude.
You can hide behind, oh, it's ironic, oh, it's a joke, but you walk around with fucking Nazi imagery on your armband. You do it for over a decade while you are enticing a child and getting arrested for it. It's not a joke. If you hear somebody say, I want to punch a Nazi, and you get scared that you're about to get punched, I gotta be honest, you should be punched. But I'm sorry if that triggered you, Fox Hitler. But hey, this was a video. This feels like a classic. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, okay, you go ahead.
Little Michael Jackson, little Michael Jackson, little Michael Jackson.
I like him. He's pretty cool. I'm gonna leave a like, and I'm gonna personally subscribe because they do some good stuff. I think they just pretty much went over, you know, the whole Nazi side of furry, going over a few of them. I think there's like, he could have also maybe gone over Crusader Cat, who is, I guess, a part of it, but I don't really know. Point being, just know, furries are doing okay, and overall, I really liked this video. I liked how it highlighted and just kind of brought into sheer stupidity just how annoying and awful these people are. And, you know, we got to take it from the perspective of furries, too. We don't want them in the community. If we could all kind of, like, yeet them out, we could. But again, if it's a hobby, it's kind of hard to be able to do that. It's hard to be able to say, no, you can't come to this, and you can just kick them out IRL stuff. But online, if they exist, they can still exist, sadly. And that's a whole different thing in a video that I want to talk about, you know, the double-edged sword of furry, which is just, you know, leads to furry being a human hobby, and, you know, furry problems be people problems too, where even if you really don't like certain people and they're really not great, you know, they still might exist, and that's sad reality of it. But I liked the video. I thought it was pretty good. I think they had a good sense of humor and a good approach towards furries. I'm glad they kept it in the light where, you know, as much as furries might be cringe, there's nothing wrong with it, and that's what I like seeing from, like, non-furries takes on the furry community. And overall, the video was just funny. It just kind of highlighted the sheer stupidity and ass backwardness, the brain worms associated with a lot of this. So I'm glad we went over it today, honestly. Film Cooper, you did a good job. I look forward to your next or other video about furries, especially the one that you guys mentioned that I want to try checking out later on. But either way, that was that.